Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna say this every month. I feel like I'm just a broken record, but I can't believe it's August. This summer has gone by so quickly. I'm having the time of my life, having a great time. It's summer. Who is unhappy in summer? Actually, there are some people, I shouldn't really say that, but I love summer. I always have a great time in summer, and I want it to last for as long as possible, basically until I'm dying for it to be fall, and I'm not there yet. I'm still really enjoying the warm weather, but I have a really exciting update for you guys today. This, of course, is my August update for my rolling 10 pan, my project for 2023. So I have a really exciting update, and I'm so excited, so let's just dive right in. Okie dokie, artichokies. So, of course, first, per usual, is my LOC Tati Shadow Stick. This is what it's looking like. Bam. Right at that heart. I feel like it's getting down there. I don't know how much it's gonna take to use it up. I used it 30 times in July. I use it every day, basically. Gonna keep using it every day. It's so little itty bitty now. Like, look at how tiny it is. It's so small. I love it so much. I feel like it was always this small though. I mean, I know it started like this big, but I just can't imagine it being that big. In my head, it's always been this small. I wanna show you guys, look at how the cap almost goes all the way down. It's so cute and little. I just love it so much. And it's great. I love it. I don't know what I'm gonna do when it's finished though, because I have been using it for like 3 years nonstop now, and I just feel like I have formed an emotional bond. Like, I feel like if this was like Harry Potter or something, this would be a Horcrux for me, you know? Like, I've just used it that long. But yeah. All right, up next, I have some very exciting news. Up next is my Ciate translucent setting powder, and it is completely used up. I know, I used it up basically the last day of the month. I used it up yesterday. I'm filming this on August 1st, so I used it up on July 31st, and I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to use it up. I had so little left, but I actually like took a big fluffy brush, went all the way around. It's completely used up. I used it 29 times in July, and I really didn't think I was gonna be able to use it up in July, but I think going to Florida and traveling with it really helped me. I think being able to use it and like set my entire face while I was in Florida, hi Tuesday, really helped me. So I actually used it up completely, and I'm so excited. I really didn't think that this product was ever gonna end. I ended up taking the sifter out, this guy right here, the sifter out, about, I don't know, I would say 3 or 4 days before I completely used it up, because there was just so little product left. Yeah, really love this product though. I highly recommend it. It lasted a long time. It stayed consistently good throughout the entire time I was using it. And I don't even think, like, I believe originally I got it in like a FabFitFun box or something. I don't think I purchased it. So for not purchasing it, I loved it. And I'm so happy that I finally have a powder used up, considering it's been like in my collection for probably like 4 or 5 years now. And yeah, completely used up. Okay, I'm on kind of a roll here. So this is, like I said, very exciting update. Next up is my ColourPop Lunch Money highlighter, and that is also completely used up. I am so excited. I did have so little of this left. I used this up on the 29th. So again, I was cutting it really close with all the products that I used up. And I used this 28 times in July. I really cannot believe that this is also used up. This is a product that I had in for my project all of last year as well. So in general, using up these like long running products feels so good and so satisfying. It's just like, it is so satisfying to have it used up. I haven't used another highlighter in so long, so I'm very excited to use other highlighters in my collection and stuff like that. But yeah, completely used this up, got down to the very little of it and used it up completely. So I'm just really excited to have this one rolled out as well. And yeah, so many uses on both this product and the Ciate translucent setting powder. I also really recommend the Super Shock highlighter formula. It is kind of what blew ColourPop up, like their Super Shock eyeshadows and then their Super Shock cheek products. It's kind of what really brought them into the main foray for everyone. It's what really like blew them up originally. So, and they obviously still make them, so they have to be good, you know? And they are. I think it's a really good highlighter. They actually still sell this exact highlighter, Lunch Money. So if you're looking for a really good, nice, light, champagne-y gold highlight, this is a great one. I say that and I'm like, I'm never repurchasing this because it took so long. I mean, I would maybe repurchase it. It's just I have like 50 million more highlighters and there's always new ones coming out. So Yeah, and it took forever to use up, but super, super satisfying that I actually used it up before it dried out or anything like that. Okay, next up is my Bahama Mama bronzer, and this one's used up too. Look at this, guys. I'm like, what? So yeah, this one is used up completely. I also finished it on the 29th. Very good day for me. I don't know. I was just like this last couple days has just been like product used up, and I've been like, and it's really actually impressive with this one because I couldn't bring it to Florida with me. So I only used this 24 times in July. And I was really worried, again, just like the other two products, that I would only have a little bit left and I'd have to roll it into August. And I'm just so happy that I used it up. It is so satisfying to have it used up. And luckily I do have like other mini bronzers and stuff to travel with and everything, but it's especially nice to use it up because it was broken and I couldn't actually travel with it. And in August, I am traveling a good bit again. I have a bachelorette weekend this next weekend. So yeah, I am just looking forward to being able to use other bronzers. So satisfying. That being said, with those three products used up, the only product I have left for my original 10 is my Tati LOC Shadow Stick. That is the only thing left from my original 10. Those three and the shadow stick were I had 4 left and I used 3 for my original 10. Literally the most satisfying thing, except for if I like, I don't know, maybe used up like all of my products in a month or something. That is the only thing I could think that would be more deeply satisfying than using up those 3 like long-term products. Next up is my Glossier Lash Slick Mascara. This is one that I thought I might be able to use up in July and I didn't. It's just not nearly dried up enough. There's definitely plenty of product left. I used this 26 times in July, really enjoying using it. I used it today as kind of my like final finishing touch. I really do like it. I've been preferring brown mascara more. I think that's just because I have like lighter hair and I've been wearing brighter colors, but I've been preferring brown mascara. So having this has been really nice. And I do think that it will be used up in August, if not August, September. But I mean, think back to my Bye Bye Panda Eyes mascara. Not to bring that up, but that lasted like, I feel like it was like 6 months that I was like, no, it'll be next month for sure, guys, for sure. So, I mean, you never know with mascaras, but I do think that I might be able to use this up in August. Next up is my NYX Bare With Me Concealer. I use this 30 times in July. I use it every single day. Been really loving this. It was at the serum before, and now it's up at this line underneath Bare With Me. So I did use more this month, I feel like, than I have in previous months. I feel like I've been using it, I don't know, in my mind, I didn't use it more, but it has moved so much more. So I don't know, I've been really enjoying it. Again, super satisfying to watch it kind of like go up, but I obviously have a good bit of time left with this one. The only thing for me with this product is that I do worry about not being able to use it up before it's like, obviously the end of the year because of the project, but in general, winter, because I feel like it is the perfect shade for me right now. And I am so tan right now for me. Like, this is probably the tannest you guys will see me, just saying. I don't really get that tan, but I feel like I'm really tan right now. So I am kind of worried that I won't be able to use it up before I get super pale again. And yeah, because I didn't roll it in until I was a little bit more tan. So we'll see about that. But in general, I really like the formula, really good concealer, and a really good drugstore concealer specifically. I kind of noticed recently that most of my products that I have in my collection and that I roll in general are all drugstore. So I guess I'm kind of a drugstore girly. I do have some high-end products, obviously, but I feel like very few and far in between. So yeah. Next up is my other NYX product, and this is my NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel. I also use this 30 times in July. Really love it. It's a little bit thicker than I remember when I first got it, which means I think it might be either drying up or getting down to like being able to use it more to being finished, you know what I mean? But I actually really like that because it holds my brows more, and it is just a really good undertone, really easy to just kind of like put in the brows. Right now, I feel like I kind of go in between having more simple brow routines and then more complicated brow routines. And right now I have a much more complicated brow routine. It's just how it goes. I feel like it's like a cycle, you know? I think just use this like by itself, but right now I am currently filling my brows in and then doing this and then putting in a clear brow gel. I have a Benefit clear brow gel that I've been really liking, which is funny because I have bangs right now and you can't even see my brows 90% of the time. But I do think when you can see them, they look good and they stay all day, and yeah, I've been really enjoying them. But I just do think it's funny that I literally probably wouldn't have to do my brows and it wouldn't even matter because my bangs cover them, but it's part of the process, you know? Like, I think makeup should be simple and affordable, but yet creative and colorful and fun, right? Like, it should be a de-stressor, it should be a creative outlet, at least it is for me. So yeah, I enjoy my little process. I enjoy doing my makeup every morning. It's like my favorite part of the day. So yeah, gonna keep using this, and I think maybe I'll be able to use it up by September. Next up is my e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I used this 30 times in July as well. Really enjoy this. Really like the finish of it. Really like how glowy my skin looks, and it's almost a perfect shade for me currently because I'm tan. It is a little more tan than my like winter shade for sure, but it's not really that noticeable, and it's so like sheer across the skin that it doesn't really matter, and I'm putting a foundation over it anyway. So like I said, not the end of the world that it's a little bit too dark, but right now it's the perfect shade. And I just feel like my base has looked so good lately. Like, I feel like I never do this, but I'll kind of just like I feel like my skin obviously isn't perfect. Like, I'm not trying to have perfect looking skin by any means as I talk to you this close. Hi. But I do think that my skin looks like so healthy and dewy and good. So I absolutely love this. I do think it's kind of like a staple in my collection right now. And I think if I used it up tomorrow, I'd go and repurchase it, or at least something similar to it. So yeah. Speaking of my base looking amazing, my next product is my Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Foundation. I also used this 30 times in July. Currently, still loving this. I love it. It's amazing. It is definitely too pale for me right now. You can even kind of, I think, see in the bottle, but I've been mixing it with my D-Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops from Drunk Elephant, and these mixed together make the shade that you see on my face. This just adds the perfect amount of like bronze and deepens up my foundation in the right undertone, so it doesn't look like too orange. I do think that it's really great. It was interesting for me because I was going to actually declutter this product because it is kind of old. I do believe I got it in 2019, summer of 2019. So it's like 4 years old. So I do think that I maybe should be thinking about decluttering these soon, but I was kind of like one more summer because I don't think that it's making me break out. I actually think that a sunscreen I have has been making me break out lately. So I'm kind of trying a different sunscreen and seeing if that helps. Anyways, besides the point, I don't really notice any difference when I use this or don't use this. So I do think it's still fine. It still smells fine when I use it. And it's still like the consistency looks good and everything. And so I'm kind of like, I'd rather just use these together than go out and buy a summer shade because I have this in my project. So I want to keep using it, obviously. But I do think that if this stays in for a while, it'll be fine because as I start to get more pale through the fall and winter, this will turn back into being the proper shade for me anyway. So that's totally fine. And then also I do think though, I'm using less of this because I'm mixing it with something, so I don't need as much. So I am using a little bit less, but I am still using it every single day, so I don't mind, you know? So yeah, that is the current combo. Okay, last from my July 10 is my Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand Blush in Pinkgasm. I used this 29 times in July. Really like the finish of it. I really like layering other blushes on it. I feel like every single time I start to use a blush every single day, I find combos that I love to layer with like powder blushes or other cream blushes and stuff. And I think that this is a really good like neutral pink so that I can put almost any shade on top of it. Like today I have a more peachy orange blush on top of it because I'm kind of doing an orange and green look inspired by the dress, if you can't tell. But I do think it works when I do more like pinky looks, more berry kind of looks. I just think it's kind of a universal shade and I love how glowy it is. I mean, like I said, I like kind of the super, super glowy look. I like to look like I just went for a brisk walk at all times, that I'm enjoying the sun, that I kind of glow, you know what I mean? And I really do think like I glow I mean, I have a highlight on over top of it, but I do think like by itself, this is super pretty if I have like a no makeup day and I just want to add a little bit of color because it also is like a highlight. So I've been really loving this, and it doesn't feel like much flatter than it was before, but it does feel pretty light, like from what I remember when I first got it. And yeah, so I do think I'll be able to use this up by the end of the year for sure. I just don't know exactly when. But those were my 10, and I obviously used up 3, so I'll be rolling in 3, which is super exciting because in general, now that I've used up those 3 products, I've used up 11 products total, and that brings me to about halfway. My goal is to use up 23 products in 2023. I have 12 products left, 5 months to do it. That means I have to use 2 to 3 products every single month, so very happy that I got 3 used up this month. I have been a little bit nervous about getting to that 23 mark, even though I feel like last year I was super nervous about getting 22 and then I got to 30. So we'll see. But I do think I just have some like longer lasting products in. But I mean, I say that and then I used up 3 of my longest products this past month. So that being said, obviously rolling in 3 new things. So let's get into what those are because I'm very excited about it. First things first, this might come as a surprise, but the first thing I'm rolling in is actually a mascara. It is, yeah, I know you recognize this. This is the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. This is my second one. So my first one I already used up the beginning of this year, and this is my second one. What's really interesting about this one is I have been using it still. I used it today, and I have been using it, and I feel like I thought I would have it used up already, and it kind of stayed in a little bit longer. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna put it in so that I focus on it because I do actually have a lot of other mascaras. I've been trying a lot of new mascaras. I just feel like mascara is one of those things that I'm like, oh, I can just get this mascara. And then I end up with like 9 mascaras, and I feel like I'm constantly battling my mascara use. I don't know what that is or why specifically. I guess I love mascaras, but I'm not worried about rolling this in with my Glossier Lash Lick because I use 3 mascaras every single day because I'm crazy. Not actually, but I just, like I said, I love my routine and I have a very specific look in mind, and that includes using 3 mascaras, and I love layering mascaras. A little bit extra, but totally worth it. And I wanted to roll this in because I do really want to get it used up. What's interesting is the other Monsieur Big mascara that I used, its final weight was basically the exact same weight that this one is as its starting weight. But it feels like this one is nowhere near being used up, which means to me that I think that the other one dried up faster. And I think that might be because I was using that one every single day a lot more consistently, and I haven't used this one as consistently like I've been using other mascaras. But I also think it's because I haven't traveled with this mascara, and I think going in like on flights and stuff, it's obviously very dry up there, and I think that that helps dry out products. That could be totally fake, but that's just my theory. And then I also think it's summer, so it's more humid, so I think that it has kind of stayed a little bit more wet and tacky because it does feel like I have a good amount of product in here. Like, it doesn't feel brand new by any means. Like, I definitely don't have a ton of product, and I do think that I'll be able to use this up in like August or September, like 1 or 2 months. But I also really don't think that it'll be something where I'll be like, next week I'm like, oh, okay, this is done, this is used up. Like, I do think it'll be in for at least like 3 or 4 weeks minimum from like what I feel about it. I could be totally wrong, and it could be like tomorrow that I'm like, oh, it's not usable, but I don't think so. So yeah, I'm rolling in this mascara to finally finish up the last of my Lancome Monsieur Big mascaras, because I did get the e.l.f. Big Mood mascara, which is interesting because I heard it's a dupe. And it totally is. I really think it's very comparable. I do think that these are slightly better of a formula than the e.l.f. one, but also like the price of this versus the price of the e.l.f., just get the e.l.f. Like, not worth it. I love this mascara. It's a ride or die mascara for me, and I might repurchase it at some point, but right now I'm pretty content with using this one up and then just using the e.l.f. mascara, so yeah. Okay, this next product I'm actually really excited to roll in, and it is actually another highlighter. I know I said earlier that I'm excited to try out some other highlighters, but when you see this product, you will understand why I'm rolling it in. This is from Smashbox, and it is a highlighter called Turn It On. Let me get a little closer so you can see what it looks like. Okay, do you see this? Do you see how little of this product I have left? So this comes from a Smashbox highlighting palette. I'll put up a picture of what it looked like. And I got it actually as a gift for when I turned, oh my goodness, 19, I think, when I turned 19. So 2017. So this is an old product, okay, an old product. But I took it out. I don't know why I depotted I think the packaging broke. And it was a Casey Holmes collab. I love Casey Holmes here on YouTube. She's awesome. I've been following her obviously for years and years and years. And a friend gave this palette to me because we both bonded over the fact that we watched Casey Holmes. But I have so little of this left that if I can get another highlighter used up in my collection, I'm gonna do it. I have so many highlighters and I would rather just get this one used up. It is gonna be interesting, I think, transitioning from using a cream highlighter to using a powder highlighter. I do have it on today, and it is just so weird to not use a cream highlighter. I do think it's really pretty and I really like it, and it's a great undertone for me, but oh my gosh, it is definitely gonna be a transition. I'll show you where I keep this so you can kind of see. It has the rest of the palette in it as well. Okay, so it lives in this Morphe Z palette, and it goes right there, as you can see. It was stuck a little bit, so I had to like kind of like pry it out. But these are the other two shades from that palette. So I think this is like, goodness, Crank It Up. It's like Turn It On. Okay, so I cannot find what the other one is named. I'll put it up right here. This is what it's called, the third one. I don't use this one as a highlight at all. It is a little too dark. I mean, I bet it wouldn't be too dark right now, but it is like very, very glittery and very pink. And so I typically actually used it as a single shadow. I sometimes will use this one, especially in the summer. It is more of like a golden highlight. But about 2 years ago now, my goal for this was to hit pan on it. I definitely didn't have a channel at that time, but I hit pan on it obviously. And I also wanted to use this one up. And this is obviously before I put in my ColourPop Lunch Money highlighter, but it is finally redemption time. I will be finishing this highlighter this year. It is just so close to being done. And it is obviously a little bit more of like an inconvenient product to roll in because it is in this giant palette. But my thought about that is that like you can see, I have this little single shadow. It's from ColourPop. I can kind of custom make palettes, and then I don't have to bring as many eyeshadow palettes, and I can just bring this one. And I also have some bronzers because I am not rolling in a bronzer, not to spoil the last product, but I have some bronzers that I can pop out and kind of put in here. So I can have this be like kind of a cheek palette. You know what I mean? I'm not super worried about it, and it is way more worth it to me to use this one up completely. So I'm very excited to see how much I can kind of use up on this. I do think I'll be able to use this up by the end of the year as well, but I do think it is going to take a little bit longer than the same amount as a cream, because I just think that you need less powder highlight, but we'll see. All right, so the last product I'm rolling in for August is also from ColourPop. And I always have to have at least one ColourPop product in, am I right? Like, I always have to have something, but this is the ColourPop Pressed Powder, and this is in the shade Fair. It's a sheer powder. So this is what it looks like. I do have a big old dip in it, and yeah, I really, really want to get this used up. I only have two powders left. I have this, and I have the Coty Airspun powder, and yeah, I really just want to get this one used up. It is sheer, so even though it has color to it, it really isn't like a pressed powder foundation at all. It's more like a setting powder. I do think it's also going to be an interesting transition to use this instead of a loose setting powder. I did use it under my eyes today, and it was a little bit different than what I was used to. It does add a little bit more coverage around like my face, which I don't mind at all. It's just, like I said, different. Definitely different using something with a little bit of color, and definitely different using something that is pressed versus loose. But I do think because I have that pan in it, I'm looking forward to seeing how much I can get used up. I do hope that I can get this used up by the end of the year, but you never know with those sort of things. You never know with like these type of powders. I've never used a pressed powder, I don't think. Maybe I have, but I don't really remember if I have, you know what I mean? So yeah. Just kind of looking forward to seeing how much bigger I can get the pan in August, and then from there kind of seeing how long I think it'll take to use it up completely. But with that, those are my products that I'm rolling in, and that is my update for August for my rolling 10 pan project for 2023. Really, really happy with my progress in July, and in general, I have really, really loved it. I feel like I've been really enjoying doing some like fun, creative makeup looks today, like this one. I'm back on my color grind. I feel like I was in a very neutral place for a little bit of July, and then I think once I cut my hair, it was like fun makeup all the way, all the time. So yeah, been really enjoying having short hair, been really enjoying the fun makeup looks and putting together fits. I've kind of been a little bit more on my like influencer grind. I've been posting a lot more like outfits and stuff. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, this is my TikTok, go follow me there. And I'll be posting a little bit more makeup stuff there too. That is the goal at least. But it's also a lot of just like random stuff. I kind of post whatever I want there. Maybe you'll hear some of my poetry soon. That's kind of a goal of mine. Like I said, a little bit of everything. I also, a goal of mine for August is to post more on my makeup Instagram. So that's this, if you want to follow me there as well. More followers I get, the more I will be actually pushed to post. So keep that in mind. But if you like this video, please like it. And if you like me, please subscribe and join me on my little journey here. Been really loving filming and everything that I've been doing, and editing actually. So I have a couple creative videos coming. I know that probably right after this, I'll be posting one from a Florida trip that I took that I'm really excited about and looking forward to. And I have a couple other creative ones with other people coming up to film. So yeah, with that, I hope you have a great day, week, month, year. I hope you're having a great August. You know, it's the season. Taylor Swift is in the air. August slipped away. You know, we all know what I'm talking about here. But with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.